Hello! In this short video, I will talk about your project and walk through some simple freehand sketching techniques. As a slightly goofy example, I will be sketching up a wild bird feeder concept. Although computers have now largely replaced drafting boards, simple freehand sketches are still the primary instrument for project brainstorming sessions and preliminary rough designs. A freehand sketch is a rough drawing created without the use of rulers, protractors, compasses, or other drafting tools. Here, I am using my hand as a compass. Use your wrist, knuckles, or fingers as a pivot point. Spin the paper while keeping your pencil as still as possible. It is often easier to move and rotate your paper than rotating your hand into an awkward drawing position. For lines and proportions, use your fingers to quickly mark distances, then connect the dots. My index finger is 3½ inches long, with 1 inch from the center of my top knuckle to the top of my fingernail. A foot was originally based on the length of the king's foot, and a yard is derived from the distance of a normal walking pace, a double step, or returning to the same foot. Quick estimates can be made in the field if you are familiar with how large your feet are, how long your arms are, or how high you can reach. If it's been a while since you last checked how tall you are, get a measuring tape out and map out all of your dimensions. Sketches start with simple shapes and outlines. Do not fill in details until the very end. No amount of shading or details can fix a sketch with lopsided proportions. Proportions are the relative size and position of features and components with respect to one another. Bounding boxes, center points, and construction lines should be drawn before sketching the individual features of your object. You can think of construction lines like you think of the scaffolding for a building or the wooden frames and rebar used before pouring cement. Sketching without construction lines would be like pouring cement without first digging out the base and walling off the perimeter. Construction lines are the scaffolding for your drawings. Construction lines are used in CAD software as well as in freehand sketching. As you sketch, experiment with different line thicknesses and types. In technical drawings, line types and thicknesses are used to communicate different types of information. There are center lines, cutting plane lines, extension and dimensioning lines, construction lines, part outlines, and hidden lines. Use a sharp pencil held firmly close to the tip for precision, or a loosely held dull pencil for large sweeping lighter marks. Old drafters use sandpaper to shape their pencil tips for different line effects. When sketching, make many short lines rather than one long continuous line. Draw the first line slightly. The first attempt is usually not perfect, so draw another light line over the first one with the corrections that are needed. Sketching involves making multiple passes over the same spot. Each new attempt will correct and refine the previously drawn lines until it's clear where the final darker line should be. This video does not show any failed attempts, but you should know I went through quite a few pieces of paper before making this silly thing. With each failed attempt comes a deeper understanding of the object you're trying to make, though. Don't be afraid to crumple up a pile of papers and otherwise fight with your design a bit. It's cheaper to make mistakes on paper than to make mistakes in the machine shop. The brainstormed idea for this bird feeder include thorns on the top to keep squirrels and other predators away, a natural-looking leafy canopy made from reflective materials to minimize heat. A stable 3-hook attachment should keep the feeder from blowing around too much in the wind, with drainage holes in the base to reduce mold and keep the contents dry. There are no movable parts. It's simple to clean, hang, fill, and use. It has many great features, but it's far from being perfect. Even now, I'm not happy with this design. For one, although a spherical orb might be aesthetically appealing, the canopy is not large enough to completely protect the base from the rain. Nothing is ever quite perfect. There are no perfect houses, no perfect cars, no perfect bird feeders. The more input and people you can involve in your project, the better it will be. For your project idea sketches, don't just copy this bird feeder. Sketch out your own ideas. You should use a similar format as this example though. Create at least one large drawing on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and another set of smaller drawings showing the top, front, side, and any other views needed to more fully describe the object you envision. Finally, add descriptive notes describing the features of your invention, using lettering techniques from the notes. Once you are finished with your sketch, post it in the class project proposal forums. We'll try to keep everything fun and lighthearted, so don't stress too much over this first little rough draft. At the end of the semester, you'll look back on your initial sketches and laugh. This is just your starting point. We'll turn these sketches into CAD files soon enough. That's where the real fun begins. I look forward to seeing everybody's project ideas and sketches. Happy sketching!